Welcome back to another video. One of my favorite foods to eat is actually peanut butter. One of the most healthy snack food, as well as it's high in protein and filled with good fats. The only problem with commercially produced and shelf-bought peanut butter is whilst it's got a lot of benefits of whole peanuts, natural peanuts, almost every commercial brand and many of the non-commercial brands actually adds hydrogenated fat, which is typically like hydrogenated vegetable fat, which comes from margarine, or just typical hydrogenated fat, which is not good for health. So for the longest time, I've been like eating tubs and tubs of peanut butter without realizing that. And finally, because to keep myself healthier, I have started making my own peanut butter at home. So today I'll show you a very simple way to make your own natural peanut butter at home without all the additives and chemicals and preservatives, which is fairly present in most store-boughts. So what you need is an amount of peanuts or shelled and de-skinned peanuts. You can use the smaller peanuts or the larger ones, like this is Shandong peanuts. If you buy them raw, you will have to roast it or fry it beforehand to make it cook. Or if you actually bought pre-fried, pre-roasted peanuts, we'll just warm it up with some dry frying, which I'll do. Now, I usually make a batch of half a kilogram of peanuts. To make it more pliable and less viscous, I will add extra virgin olive oil. Now, if you don't like the taste of extra virgin olive oil, which is one of the most healthy oil, you can use your other favorite vegetable oil. To give it some taste, I'll add a little bit of sugar. This is totally optional, up to you. And a pinch of salt. Again, salt and sugar is totally up to you. You can make natural peanut butter with just peanuts alone. Okay, so and of course we need a high-powered food processor or a grinder or a chopper. Okay, so we'll start by roasting the peanuts. Okay. So I'm going to pour half a kg of peanuts. These are roasted Shandong peanuts. So I've mentioned half a kilo, and I am going to heat it up and dry roast it because I just want to get rid of any contaminants if there are. Of course, these are fresh and it can be eaten. But very good. So I'm just going to roast it for a little while. So just dry roasting it over fire, and I'm just going to stir it continuously. So after I've roasted this, I will come back. After dry roasting the peanuts, we'll let it cool. And if you see any burnt pieces, we got like to remove that like this. If you don't want to dry fry, you can put the whole batch into a heated oven and turn it on to maybe 150 degrees for 5 minutes. Make sure it doesn't burn. So I have cooled down the peanuts and I'm going to put it into the grinder. Okay. I'm going to leave out the balance small bits which are possibly a little bit burnt. And this size is just good. I'm going to add in a pinch of salt. This is just to flavor peanut butter, like I'd say that's like half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to put in some sugar as well, just to flavor the peanut butter. So I am going to put in 1 tablespoonful. This is up to your own taste, maybe 1.5, just to give it a bit of sweetness so that it feels like store-bought peanut butter. So I'm ready to grind it. I'm going to cover this. This grinder actually has a small hole to release any air pressure. So let me just power it on. Just going to hold it down, and just in case, I will just to cover the hole. So I'm going to start with pulsing. I hope you can actually see. I'm just trying my best not to block it. So let's pulse it for a bit. So as it's coming together, you can see like it's starting to clump up. Then I will turn on the low speed, well, setting number 1. All right, so let me just make it. So when the grinding gets released, as in like it's not grinding the peanut butter anymore, I'm just going to stop it for a while, and I'm going to pulse it again. I'm going to like knock off any of this top portion. Let me just it's like very hot right now because there's a lot of heat still built up. So let me just scrape the sides. Now the good thing about a metal grinder or a metal food processor is that it can take the heat. Okay, so this is like coming together quite well. You can see like it's starting to clump up and the oil is starting to come up. Okay, I'm gonna start grinding. So it's starting to like becoming more creamy. You can see like it's starting to become more creamy or more like a fluid. Okay, I'm just gonna give a taste test. Perfect. There's enough of sugar, enough of salt. Now, for this particular peanut, it's not dry. I mean, it's fairly oily, so I may not need to add any oil. So I'm gonna pulse. Okay, it's still fairly dry, so I might need to pulse this. Very rich. So I'll go on blending for an extra 5 minutes and then I'll come back. So I've been grinding it for 3-4 minutes. You can see like it's becoming very creamy, and I've not added any oil. I think in this particular case I may not need to add any oil. This is very creamy and not too viscous. I'm just going to blend it for another 2 minutes. I'm going to try to scrape the bottom in case there are any thicker bits that needs to be released. Tastes marvelous. Okay, you can see some smoke or steam coming out. This is becoming like really creamy now. I might need to process this a little bit more to make it a little bit more smooth. As of now, it's quite smooth. This is really good, really good. Okay, the peanut butter is like really hot right now. I'm gonna let it cool. Okay, I think this is good enough. I can see some oil coming on the surface as well already. And it's really creamy right now. Now this is because it's really hot, so the viscosity has gone down. When it's cool, when I put into the tub, it will be much thicker than this. So you can see like that's actually less viscous. It actually flows. But once it's cooled down, it will become more spreadable. So okay, so this is, I can't stop licking my spoon, but okay, very simple way to not need to buy a store-bought peanut butter, which usually does lots of flavorings, emulsifiers, preservatives, and also hydrogenated fat. So you can make your own homemade peanut butter directly with just peanuts, roasted peanuts, a bit of salt and sugar. Taste test: piece of toast, some homemade natural peanut butter. Can you see how spreadable it is? Okay, I'm just using this opportunity to clean my spoon. If you find like this is too viscous, once it's cool, you can add some olive oil in the blending process. That is really good, and it's almost pure peanuts. Really good. Perfect. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. And you can also use other nuts, like if you like hazelnuts or almonds or cashews, you can use it the same way, but don't eat raw nuts. You have to roast it first, and then you can blend it with a bit of salt and sugar. Okay, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of my toast and my peanut butter. See you in the next video.